Let no one scare you. Let no one frighten you. That you've got to do this, that, and the other. It's already done. This whole thing is already completed. You are here as members of a body, one body, sharing in a purposed end. So when you go back, you are that one body. You and I actually form the one body that is God. So we, the sons of God, came down. And when we rise, we are God the Father. That's the only way we could experience the wholeness, is by shattering ourselves, becoming fragmented, and then going through the entire journey, and in the end returning, and returning into unity. And that unity is God the Father. So when we are told, stoning to death, well, the stones are only the literal facts of life. So they pick up stones for stoning. We are told at the end, not one bone of his body was broken. What body? The Bible. That's his external body. Men have tried through the centuries to change it. And you will find these many editions, and they're necessary, because overly zealous scribes will add and take from and add their own little stupid concepts based upon their theories, what they think it ought to be. And you'll find them among the wisest of men still trying to change the body. But in the end, not one bone is broken. As you're told in Exodus, in Numbers, and in the Psalms. Not a bone is broken. And they came to him, not a bone was broken. It means that you cannot change. He did not come to change, to abolish the law, and the prophets. He came only to fulfill. So he fulfills everything in the world. And you are the one spoken of. You are the Lord Jesus Christ. Until you actually know it from experience, dwell upon it. Just dwell upon it. Go to sleep in the consciousness of being. And you will know, beyond all doubt, in the not distant future, really, who you are. You'll know the truth of the things that I'm talking about. Everyone does. That's why I am here. That's why I've been sent. I've been called and sent in the same way that Paul said he was called and sent. In the same way the central figure said, I have been sent. And when you see me, if you can really see me, you'll see him who sent me. So know the one who sent me when you see me, because all will be alike. And yet no loss of identity, may I tell you. It's not an absorption, losing your identity. No. And yet the same form. That same glorious, radiant form that is all-powerful and all-wise. So that's the being that you really are. What does it matter what Oscars you got today or tomorrow? Or what power in the world of Caesar you seem to exercise? That means nothing compared to the being that you really are. But all your mind and all your soul upon this one hope that it will unfold in the not distant future within you. For that's the only purpose for it all. And when this purpose is really revealed to you, and I'm trying my best to reveal it, then everything falls right into place. It gives meaning to the entire picture of life. Everything has meaning then. If, perchance, we're passing through a trying time, I'm going to ask a friend of mine, she's here tonight, to tell another friend, a mutual friend, This statement from Blake. There are states in which all visionary men are accounted madmen. Then he adds this to that thought. Read Luke, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse. If you read the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse, you will wonder how on earth can he relate that to what he has just said, that all visionary men are accounted madmen. But if you read the whole chapter, you will see what he is really telling you that is on your doorstep. It's the birth of the child. The 2nd chapter of Luke, the 1st verse. And that is that the order went out from Augustus Caesar that all, the whole vast world must be enrolled. Enrolled as implied for taxes. They must now be enrolled, for the order has come. Now read the whole chapter, and you'll see where this now, Joseph, because he was of the line of David, he took his wife Mary up to Bethlehem, the city of David. And then while she was there, her time arrived for the delivery of her son. And then the son is born. It's preceded by, as Blake said, a form of madness. For he said, all visionary men are accounted, in certain states they are accounted madmen. And then he asked you to read that verse. Blake was not the kind of a person that would spell everything out. In fact, he didn't spell anything out. He said to his critic, the great Truster, the Reverend Dr. Truster, you say I need someone to interpret my works. You ought to know that that which can be made clear to the idiot isn't worth my time. And the ancients understood this. And they said what was too clear could not rouse the faculties to act. If you leave it without trying to clarify it, then you will simply stimulate the man to think and rouse the faculties to act. So he doesn't spell it out. But if you read the chapter, you will see what Blake is implying, that a form of madness precedes the birth of the child. I know in my own case, goes back quite a few years before 1959, I would say 4 or 5 years. And if I shared with others what I was feeling within me at the time, it would form a form of madness. And yet I was talking to an audience of 2,600 on Sunday mornings and turning away over 1,500 at the Fox Virgin. Now I take that platform, and here I could feel within me, just as a woman would feel, the struggle of a child within her. Well, I felt it in my head. This pulsing, vibrant state. Sit down for a moment, and the whole thing is just like a mad state. And I'm talking to intelligent people, I think they are, who came to hear me. And I'm addressing 2,600, and they're turning away 1,500. And I took another theater that sat another 750, and that overflowed. And yet, here I am, like a woman, a pregnant woman, almost at the end of her time. So that's what Blake is talking about. So I'm going to ask my friend to tell her to read that 2nd chapter. And all the symptoms that she's going through now are glorious. They're perfectly wonderful. I would not raise one finger to stop them.